Close your eyes for a moment. Find the silence in the room. Now, listen to the sound of your own body. Listen to the steady, rhythmic rise and fall of your chest. Inhale. Feel the air filling your lungs, stretching the rib cage, creating space where there was none before. Exhale. Feel the release, the settling, the quiet return to center. This rhythm, this cycle of expansion and release is not unique to you. It is not merely a biological necessity. It is the fundamental mechanic of the reality we inhabit. You are mimicking the cosmos. The universe is breathing. To understand this, we must cast our minds back to the early 20th century, to a time when we believed the universe was static, eternal, and unchanging. We thought we lived in a fixed box, a gallery of stars that hung motionless in the void. But then, an astronomer named Edwin Hubble looked through the Hooker telescope at Mount Wilson and saw something that shattered our perception of stability. He looked at the distant galaxies, those islands of light drifting in the sea of night, and he noticed they were all running away from us. He observed that the light from these galaxies was shifted towards the red end of the spectrum. This is the redshift. Just as the sound of a siren lowers in pitch as an ambulance drives away from you, the light of a galaxy stretches out as it recedes. The farther away the galaxy, the faster it was moving. The implication was staggering. The universe was not a statue, it was an explosion. It was, and still is, getting bigger every single second. Take a deep breath in. Hold it, imagine the fabric of space itself, not the objects within space, but the black canvas I sit upon. It is not empty nothingness. It is a physical thing, a flexible, stretching mesh. Right now, as you hold that breath, the space between the Milky Way and the distant clusters of Virgo and Coma is stretching. New space is being created out of nothing. It is popping into existence, pushing the galaxies apart. Now, exhale slowly. This expansion is silent. It is not a violent tearing, but a smooth, relentless unfolding. It is the breath of the Big Bang, still echoing after 13.8 billion years. We are riding the shockwave of creation. The universe is acting like a balloon being inflated. If you draw dots on the surface of a balloon and blow it up, the dots do not move across the rubber. The rubber itself expands, and the dots simply ride along, moving further away from their neighbors. This is the state of our existence. We are drifting apart. The great cosmic web, the filamentary structure of matter that connects galaxy to galaxy, is being pulled taut. The voids, the vast, empty deserts between the stars, are growing larger. There is a force driving this, a force we call dark energy. We do not know what it is. We cannot see it, taste it, or measure it directly. We only know it is there because it is pushing. Gravity wants to pull everything back together. Gravity is the desire to contract, to huddle for warmth, to collapse back into a singularity. But dark energy is the desire to be free. It is the energy of the vacuum itself, whispering to every point in space to push away from every other point. And here is the twist. Dark energy is winning. For billions of years, gravity tried to slow the breath down. It tried to hold the exhale. But about 5 billion years ago, the cosmic lungs took a second wind. The expansion began to accelerate. We are not just drifting, we are rushing. We are flying into the dark at speeds that defy comprehension. Inhale again, deeply. Feel the tension in your muscles as you expand. This acceleration means that every second there is more universe than there was the second before. It means the horizon of what is knowable is constantly receding. There are galaxies that we can see today that, billions of years from now, will have been pushed over the edge of the visible universe. Their light will no longer be able to reach us against the tide of expanding space. They will simply fade away, ghosting into the absolute black. This thought terrifies some. It suggests a future of isolation, a big freeze where every galaxy is alone in its own private universe, surrounded by an abyss too wide to cross. It suggests that the ultimate fate of the cosmos is cold and dark. But shift your perspective. Let go of the need for permanence. Exhale. Think of this expansion not as a tragedy, but as a liberation. The universe is refusing to be contained. It is refusing to be small. It is constantly making room for the new. If the universe were static, it would be a cage. It would be a finished story, a book with the final page already written. But an expanding universe is an open question. It is a sentence that never ends. You are part of this flow. The atoms in your body obey the same laws as the superclusters, while the electromagnetic force holds your molecules together against the expansion of space. Your life follows the same trajectory. Think of your own history. You began as a single cell, a singularity of potential, and since then you have done nothing but expand. You grew in size, you expanded your mind with language, you expanded your world from a crib to a house to a city to a planet. We are terrified of the unknown. We look at the future and we see the dark void, just like the gaps between the stars. We want to contract. We want to retreat into the safety of nostalgia, to the things we know, to the gravity of the past. But the universe tells us, number the direction of life is outward. The direction of reality is forward. Breathe in. The air you are pulling in is nitrogen and oxygen, forged in stars that lived and died before the earth was born. But the act of breathing is the act of engaging with the world. When you inhale, you are taking the outside and making it part of you. You are accepting the environment. The universe breathes in a different way. It breathes space. It inhales possibility. Every cubic meter of new space created between the galaxies is a blank canvas. It is a vacuum waiting to be filled with light or radiation, or simply the potential of travel. Imagine yourself floating in that deep intergalactic space, far away from the noise of the earth, far away from the tyranny of the sun. You are in the void between the Milky Way and Andromeda. It is quiet here. The silence is thick and heavy, but it is not dead. You can feel the hum of the expansion. You can feel the fabric of reality stretching beneath you. It is a feeling of weightlessness, not just physical weightlessness, but emotional weightlessness. In a universe that is rapidly expanding, there is no center. Every point is the center. You are the center of your own expansion. The recession of the galaxies is relative to you. You are the observer standing on the deck of the ship, watching the shores of the past recede. Exhale. Let the air leave your body. Watch it go. It dissipates into the room, becoming part of the atmosphere, just as the heat of the Big Bang has dissipated into the cosmic microwave background radiation. A faint, cold glow that fills the sky. The cooling breath of creation. There's a philosophy in the physics of inflation. It suggests that stability is an illusion. To be alive is to be in motion. If you stop moving, if you stop growing, you are fighting the fundamental nature of the cosmos. The universe does not hoard its energy. It spreads it out. It shares it with the void. It is an act of supreme generosity, giving itself over to the nothingness, filling the dark with the light of existence. Why do we fear the unknown? Why do we fear the space that opens up before us? We treat the unknown as a threat, a monster hiding in the dark. But look at the stars. The darkness is what allows them to shine. The expansion is what allows them to exist without collapsing into a black hole. If the universe didn't breathe out, if it didn't push into the unknown, everything would be crushed into a singularity of infinite density and zero possibility. Space is safety. Distance is freedom. As you continue to breathe, match your rhythm to the visual in your mind. See the galaxies moving away. Inhale. They drift further apart. Exhale. The space between them cools and settles. We are traveling. We are not sitting still on a rock. We are moving through time and we are moving through space. The solar system is orbiting the galactic center. The galaxy is rushing towards the great attractor. The entire local group is being swept along the cosmic currents. There is no anchor. There is no harbor. There is only the voyage, and this voyage has no destination. That is the beauty of it. If there were a destination, there would be an end. There would be a wall. But the universe is creating the road as it travels. It is paving the path with space and time just milliseconds before we arrive. So, when you feel lost, when you feel like the ground is shifting beneath you, remember that it is supposed to shift. When you feel like you are drifting apart from the things you used to know, remember that this is the cosmic law. You are not falling apart. You are spreading out. You are becoming larger. The breadth of the universe is slow, measured in billions of years. But it is powerful. It is the power that defeats gravity. It is the power that defeats stagnation. Allow yourself to be carried by it. Do not fight the drift. The anxiety we feel is often just the friction of trying to remain static in a dynamic world. Let go of the friction. Be like the photon traveling through the expanding void. It does not worry about where it is going. It simply travels. It rides the wave of space. Inhale, new space, new time, new potential. Exhale, past structures, old fears, the need for control. We are creatures of the expansion. We are children of the open road. The darkness ahead is not a wall. It is a door that is swinging wide open. And every moment that passes, the room gets bigger. The possibilities multiply. Drift into that vastness. Feel the cool, clean air of the infinite. You are safe in the expansion because you are the expansion. The breath continues. The universe grows. And so do you.